In Canada, for almost half of our year, I can't skateboard or surf skate outside, so I've been determined to find a way to get my fix by playing around with this setup. I showed a previous video of trying to create an ice surf skate, and after learning what I did from that, I tried to make a few tweaks to see if I could improve upon that model. So let's go through it here. This new version I think is a little bit better. It's still not perfect, but it's way better for tricks. I managed some decent nose manuals, some manuals, lots of ollies, a couple 180s. Tried some shuvits and kickflips as well. Yes, I did try one kickflip. New setup. I used an old Meraki adapter that was sort of broken but good enough for this purpose. I put it on a deck that has a shorter wheelbase. It's more of a standard popsicle deck. I added a rail adapter in the back. And one of the things I did to try and get more traction at the back is I loosened these up so that they would sit at a bit of an angle when you're pressing down with your weight. One bad part of that is you can see I did bend it, but that's all right. It still worked. It took some time for me to figure it out, but once I did, I was able to pump this much better than the previous version I'd been using. And I think the shorter wheelbase really helped with that. What I noticed is that it's really easy to slide out on these. So you want to have a wheelbase setup that allows you to keep your front foot over the front blades and your back foot right over the back blades. And essentially your weighting has to be perfect to be able to pump this. The older version I had to push a lot and I could use pumping to kind of sustain my momentum. But with this, I can actually pump and maintain speed and momentum just by pumping rather than having to rely on that initial push. The day here in Ottawa was pretty much our last day to be able to try this out. We're getting a wave of warm weather coming next week, and it was above zero today. So that meant the ice was really soft. Now, I think that helped with traction. It just made it a lot harder to get any glide. So you had to work really hard to get this thing pumping. However, it worked way better than my experiment on the Rideau Canal last week. So I think the softer ice conditions help with keeping your back blade traction. I'm using narrower trucks in the rear on this version, and I think that was also helpful in being able to keep edge control when pumping. The other ones were wider than my foot, so I found that just made it prone to sliding out even more because I couldn't really control the pressure on the back blades. Someone pointed out to me in the comments on a previous video that the Waterborne adapter that I had set up in the front might not have been pumping as well because of the cold weather, making the bushing-based system a little bit harder. So using the spring-based YOW Meraki in the front this time, I found that really helped with being able to pump and get more motion from the front truck. So I'm going to try experimenting with some different models. The guys at Curveboard tell me that theirs work really well in this application and shared a video with me. So next year I'm going to keep practicing and try and get this perfect because I think there's real validity to this concept to create a fun surf skate that can be used through the harsh Canadian winters. Thanks for watching, guys.